Now we come on to perhaps one of the most commonly misunderstood and therefore feared and therefore not utilized, not made full use of features in Bubble. When I started out with Bubble back in 2017, this would have been a killer feature. Thankfully, they've arrived. What am I talking about? I am talking about option sets. Here they are, option sets. So difficult to get your head around. This is one of the only places in the Bubble editor where they insist in fairly insistently that you watch a video about how option sets work. I'm going to skip that. Oh, here we go. The video's back. I'm going to give my own explanation. Option sets are like a separate database in your app that you control. There's a few caveats here. Firstly, you shouldn't put anything that's considered private in an option set. That doesn't mean that you can't use them with private data, but it does mean that you shouldn't put private data in them. For example, don't put an API key in an option set, because option sets are loaded in their entirety with every page load, and with the right developer experience, an individual can extract that from their browser. So because it's all being loaded in right from the start, you also would not want to create an option set with thousands of values. In fact, I wouldn't do an option set with 100 values. It's more of just kind of anecdotal experience, but I'd say kind of 10, 20 values is appropriate for an option set. Probably can go more, but you get the idea. So let's apply option sets to the app that we're making here, which seems to be turning into a task and project management app. So if I do a quick reminder, we've got data types and we've got tasks. So I know that in most project management, task management apps, tasks will go through a number of stages. So I'm going to go into option sets and create a stage option set. And we'll have incomplete, we'll have waiting, and we'll have completed. Notice that I'm adding these as options, not as attributes. Attributes are like fields, so I can create fields that are shared across incomplete, waiting, and completed. So, for example, I could add in an emoji. An emoji would be text, and then on incomplete, I can say what would be an incomplete emoji. Just put a clock in there for now. Waiting. Actually, that would have been a better example for the clock, but I'll put in a stop sign. And then completed. Oh, thankfully, this one's going to be easy. We'll have a check mark. Right, so now if I go back to data types, I can add this as a field. So I can say status or stage. I've called it stage, but status might have been better. And here's the option set. So I'm going to click create. And now it means that I have a field on tasks. It's not a text field, it's an option set where I can ensure that it's one of these values. Now, in many cases when you use option sets, you'll want to ensure that you don't have a blank value. So I can set a default here, and it's actually the same across all other fields in the in your data types. So I can ensure that when a task is created, I can, of course, set this in the workflow, but I'm going to just say if nothing changes, it's going to be incomplete when it's created. Here's the power of option sets. If that was a text value, and then I thought, right, I don't want to call it incomplete. I want to say poor grammar, incomplete, poor spelling rather. I can change it once in the option set, and then it's changed here, and therefore it is changed all across my app. So if I'd used the text value, I would have some entries in my database for stage which would say incomplete, and I'd have some set as incomplete, and then that's going to be terrible for filtering and matching bits of data. The other example, in fact, that's terrifying me, this typo, would be the ability to just rename the option set. So I can say status. I can go back here. Now I can then just update the field there. So that's the power of option sets. It allows you to kind of duplicate, no, not duplicate, refer to the same set of data and different fields on that data. So if I wanted to just show the emoji, I can say this task's status emoji, and then it would just show the emoji. Or if I was to say this task status display, it would show the display, and I could have an image on there like an SVG. All possibilities. So here are some ideas of where option sets may come in useful. You could use option sets for currency. Let's flesh this out. So we say currency, then we can have USD, and we can have GBP. And then if I add in symbol, as a attribute, I can now add in dollars, and I can add in pounds. And it just means that I can set the currency on a field somewhere, and I can get access to both the text label and the symbol, either or, display them in my app. And then if for some bizarre reason the symbol for a dollar changes to a D, I can just change it once here. Option sets are like anything else in your app apart from your database, which is that when you make a change and you deploy it to live, the changes to your option sets are deployed live. Where, of course, a database, you've got separate databases. Your developer or development environment database is separate to your live environment database. So there you go, option sets. I use them a lot. Don't make them too big and don't store sensitive data in them.